Games. There's a lot of them, but with how much time and money goes into making even a small game, sometimes developers decide to simply cancel a game for one reason or another. Here are a couple games which I thought would be really cool, but simply weren't meant to be. Okay, PT was cancelled even though it would have been amazing, but everyone already knows that. I personally would have loved to seen what Silent Hill 5 would have become. The last game Team Silent was working on at Konami, Silent Hill 5 would have been radically different from previous titles. According to them, it would have been the darkest story that they ever came up with. Why wasn't this made? The game would have started with Silent Hill being a town, like one with actual people, before slowly decaying throughout the game. It also would have had a sunny overworld, which is much different from the rusty metal and darkness aesthetics of the other previous titles. The otherworld sections would have focused on how shadows react to light and would have taken advantage of the power of the PS3. Oh, and it also would have been harkening back to Silent Hill 2's more psychological approach to the town. They could rekindle half the power that Silent Hill 2 had. With it being so different from previous titles, I would feel it would be a bit of a weird one, but I trust Team Silent knew what they were doing. At the very least, it would have been cool to see what they were going for, even if it wasn't very good. But hey, we got Silent Hill Homecoming, I guess. Other than the strong installment Team Silent wanted after Silent Hill 4, that they said probably would have had to been censored by the rating board. Also, Silent Hill Cold Heart sounded cool. Now I know what you're thinking. This game isn't cancelled, I played it, and yes, you can play Saints Row 4, the version that came out. But it was originally going to be much different. The original plan didn't have aliens or presidency in it all. It was to, spoilers for the second mission of a 9-year-old game, bring back Johnny Gat who died in Saints Row 3 by cloning him. This clone would have actually been evil, more evil than the normal Johnny Gat, and would have brought back some evil people from the past like Genghis Khan, Cleopatra, and Joseph Stalin, who would have been leaders of the gangs he was supposed to fight. There's all this cool concept art, the strongholds, and it's going to have a cover system and parkour. It would have been great. However, THQ needed a new installment fast as they were in a bit of a financial crisis. So they took a DLC pack for Saints Row 3 and just extended that into being its own standalone game. The Saints Row 4 we ended up getting. Okay, this is where things get a little bit weird. Agent was Rockstar's new IP announced at a PlayStation press conference in 2009. It was going to be about a spy travelling the globe during the 1970s, and it was going to be exclusive to the PS3. Sort of missed the boat on that one. Now, if that was that, it would be an open and shut case. Got announced over a decade ago, was quietly cancelled. But it's still on Rockstar's website with almost a decade of silence, and they keep renewing the trademark. Could it still be being worked on? Considering the page still claims it will only be for the PS3, probably not, but maybe they'll pull a Persona and release it on the PS3, PS4, and I guess the PS5 at this point. Only time will tell. Okay, so it's a beta, not a game, and you're thinking this doesn't count. Well, at what point does a game become another game? Is Devil May Cry technically still Resident Evil 4? The version of Resident Evil 4 we got, you're in a small European town, kicking down doors, killing chainsaw men, throwing eggs at people. There are 2 Resident Evil 4 betas that I know of. The first one, Leon is on an airship for some reason. That's basically all I know about it, and I think this is the one that became Devil May Cry. But don't worry, the second one's much more interesting. Leon is walking around a castle, which is largely suspected to actually be Spencer's castle. The game also used fixed camera angles at some points, which never happened in the retail version. The most interesting thing about this one, however, is the ghost. In a lot of the footage, a ghost holding a meat hook would stalk Leon as he ventured through the halls. Don't get me wrong, I love the version of Resi 4 that we got, but I'd love to play this, and I have the tiniest bit of hope we'll see this come to light one day. Maybe, probably not. Camdrone just sort of appeared one day. Picture it. It's PAX 2013, and with all the game stalls, something catches your eye. A bloody desktop PC just playing videos of random people, occasionally showing the word Camdrone. The elusive nature of the game caught the attention of some people, including Notch, and it was even voted the best thing at PAX that year. Great use of quotes. There was this whole Twitter ARG about it, check out Nightmine's video about that. It was eventually revealed that the game, at least in part, was being made by Edmund McMillen, creator of, such obscure titles like Super Meat Boy and The Binding of Isaac, two of the biggest indie game successes. I think it would have been really cool, but when even the creator doesn't seem optimistic about it, I wouldn't hold your breath of seeing this one day. Maybe one day these will come out. Stranger things have happened. If you enjoyed this, please give me some feedback by liking the video or leaving a comment. Maybe there's a cancelled game that you'd love to see. If this video gets enough support, maybe I'll make a part 2. Who knows? See you next time.